Go hold it.
Put it on the 12. On the 12. You go back.
Okay, a little bit down a little bit. All right, and there we go. Morning, everyone. Sweet week. So we're gonna go with the flow. On the right, coming up, the Intrepid. Coming up, Riverside Park. Riverside Park. Goes from 72nd way up the Hudson with New York. Now it's beautiful. And what a gorgeous day we have. Coming up north, Washington Bridge. So travel bridges all the United States. The first one on our this connects northern New Jersey with northern Manhattan. Considered one of them across that bridge with everything I owned, my dog in the back seat, and that's the view I saw. Emerald City behind us. Years before women had the vote. So these gals were pretty powerful. They got all the legislators to agree with them. At a certain time somewhere in the world, I've just been told that any subway for 24 hours for $4, that's a bargain.
Don't forget, it's still running.
You did it too.
Rob is doing his routine rewinding.
Seen a Broadway show, you owe it to yourself. No. The Bronx, the only one on the mainland. Manhattan to the right, a small island, 13 miles by 2.5 miles to be the center of Western. Yeah, they are having the Subway Series this weekend.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's very exciting. Here's disintegrate. When I moved here 17 years ago, you would never go to the water on purpose. It was nasty. Luckily, also wheelchairing festival with the ramp and Gracie Mansion in among the trees. That's where our mayor, Mr. Giuliani, well, I'm not sure if he's living there anymore or not. He and his wife are separating, will divorce. They have 2 small children. Very pretty. The mayor's home, Gracie Mansion. You know, he's had a bad spring, the guy, you know. He got cancer and getting divorced. Had to quit running for public office. On the left, Roosevelt Island, a huge experiment in housing when it was built. Took over traffic on the island. You drive your car on and park it and walk around or take a little shuttle bus. There's schools and shops and health clubs and a lot of parks and of course fabulous view. And you get over there by taking a ski lift for the east side of Manhattan. There's an 8 to 4 shift, a 9 to 5 shift, a 10 to 6 shift. big new building going up. The newest Trump erection is going to be the tallest residential building in the world, 90 stories. The people are outraged. They thought it... On the right, the United Nations, the fabulous United Nations. The brown top building is the General Assembly, around which 189 nation members sit around trying to keep the world from exploding. On the right, the conference center on the shoreline. The big green building behind it is the Secretariat. That's the office building for the United Nations. The little building is the, next to the radar thing, is the employee dining room. Behind it, the library. The glass-sided building, the first in New York, 1950. On land donated by the Rockefeller family. It's not going to originally be in New York because it is so expensive. The Rockefellers thought it was a great concept, so they bought that land and gave it. Water spouts look like hood ornaments. Empire State Building, most magnificent observation deck in the city. Empire State Building finished in 1931 after 13 months only of construction. That's an 86-floor observation deck. The gold pyramid roof is New York insurance, New York life insurance. That's $1 million worth of gold bricks. Dumbo, not a Disney character, it stands for Down Under Manhattan Bridge Overpass, to your left. These old factories and warehouses have been converted into artist lofts and studios and living space because artists can no longer afford Manhattan. Dumbo, the Down Under Manhattan Bridge Overpass, the newest, hottest artist enclave. Coming under the Brooklyn Bridge, but to the right, the New York Post, the oldest daily newspaper in New York, now owned by Rupert Murdoch's News Corporation. Now we're going under the most famous bridge in New York City, the Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge, the first one, finished in 1883 after 14 years of construction. People didn't think it would hold them up because it was the first one. So P.T. Barnum, not long after it opened, brought 12 elephants and walked them across the bridge. Once he did that, people trusted it. And you remember, it was designed before there were automobiles, so it was made for pedestrians and horses and carriages. The gold statue is on top of the municipal building on the right, the first city skyscraper. The tan building with a green top in the back, the first corporate skyscraper, the Woolworth building, paid for in cash by Mr. Woolworth. 90 shops and a third-floor food court now in South Street Seaport. And they have several sections of New York. To its right, the government section. So they're right next to each other. Makes sense. On the left, Brooklyn Heights, an eighth of a mile long, the most powerful street in the world. Wall Street.
That's where all your money is, James money.
In order to start building skyscrapers, you had to have again. We built these 14 batteries of guns all around the harbor. I'm happy to report we were never invaded since. It worked. As we clear Governor's Island, on the left you'll see the Verrazano Narrows, one of our charters out doing something, moving the sailors around. There's the ferry in front of us. 100th birthday present in 1876. So we put her in Madison Square Park and opened up her crown and face and tried to raise money, but it didn't work. So finally Joseph Pulitzer, whose family owned one of the main newspapers in town, wrote in his newspaper, American people, if you give even $1, which in 1880, she came out here. The pedestal was put on top of a star-shaped fort, and the statue on top of the pedestal. See, The outside was sculpted by Monsieur Bartoli, a Frenchman who used his wife or mistress as a model for the body, depending upon which account you read. But they all agreed that he used his mother for the model for the face. This was one smart artist. Symbolically, her sandaled feet are breaking the chains of oppression. The drapes she's wearing are reminiscent of ancient Greece, because ancient Greece was the first Western democracy. The day we declared our independence. Points on her crown representing the 7 seas of the world. She is looking out to the ocean, welcoming everyone. And of course, she's holding up the torch of liberty. This is her second torch. The original was glass. It is in the museum at the base of the statue. This one, of course, is gold. Is liberty and life. The huddled masses free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shores. And these, the homeless, tempest tossed. Me, on this my land, beside the golden door. Thank you to all those people who are speaking those words along with me. Those are the last few words of Emma Lazarus' poem. And Lazarus, people walking around underneath their feet, that's called a pedestal level. That's the best way to do it. You take a one staircase ferry, meaning about 8:30, that 1,000 people will get those tickets. I prefer the pedestal. It's outdoors. You can walk all the way around, and it's quite a lovely view. But this actually is a very nice perspective for getting photographs. Just a little bit longer, and then we'll continue. On the left along the shoreline, Liberty State Park, a lovely section of the West Innovation Center. The late 1964, 12 million Americans. The main building, the only one that's been restored, is often used for corporate events at night. Coming up, of course, on the right, the magnificent southern tip of Manhattan. Southern tip of Manhattan. And you would take ferries across to Manhattan. And they're building a woman's museum. Yay! High time. Battery Park City, which is the residential area for the downtown. Made look like a cruise ship. On the left, the towers look like smokestacks, the windows look like portholes, the black glass like the nighttime sky behind a cruise ship. It is a warehouse and office building, and isn't that fun? Thousands of public schools to take care of those 2.5 million students. Just kidding, just kidding. On the right, impound lot for automobiles parked illegally. If your car is there, you made 2 big mistakes. The first one was to drive a car into Manhattan to begin with. There's no place to park. Then you'll be gone a few minutes. There are not enough meter maids in the world to catch me. You'll be okay. No, it was not. So at the end of the pier is a house with cubicles in them, and there are all these dumpers in there, and they're whacking away, and then they vacuum up the balls and take them back to them, and they whack away some more. In the piers are anything to do with sports and entertainment, i.e. a rock climbing wall, ice skating rink, swimming pool, health club, spa, gym, anything to do with ball, racquetball, handball, battleball, anything to do with rollerblade, roller skate, skateboard. In the back buildings are the sound studios for Law and Order and Law and Order Special Victims Unit and Spin City, although that now is moving to LA now that Michael Fox is out of it. Those are the Spirit cruises, lunch and dinner cruises, so we're glad you chose our cruise. They do not give a narration. And a garden on here in the tan building is an equestrian center on the bottom and basketball courts on the top. So you have the long-legged horses on the bottom and the long-legged folks on the top. We will have a free bus for you when we get back to our dock. One of our 4 heliports here on Manhattan, 2 on the east side, 2 on the west side. They check weather, traffic, news, transport people to airports, and occasionally do very expensive short tours.
He's thinking of going back in.
If he wishes.
He's thinking of going back in and finishing his tour. He wants to go for 20. What's that?
Before and after. Middle, now.
Ah, okay, that's after.
In a high school picture. Marines are pussies. Too many jarheads around here.
That's what takes care of the Navy. That's what takes.
Better to get up there, Devin.
Okay, Rabbit, go ahead. What's the story here?
Titty right now.
You see, let go, Bree.
Usually you want to take footage of some tall ships down.
Aye?
Tall ships.
He's going to abandon ship or something. Doesn't like it. He wants to get out of the Navy. Yeah, look at that. He's thinking of jumping over. Doing some serious thinking. There he is. Got a visitor here. Okay.
Chinook's coming? No.
You hear him, Soupy?
Oh, there's a lot of them. Well, not two things.
I jumped on him. Guys, it's slow.
Where are you going?
Attached, flying off with a daisy chain. We're all hooking up right now. Last man on. Hook up. That's cool. helicopter one with a parachute attached to that. Chinook. I jumped out of a Chinook. It was weird. You don't have the forward thrust of an airplane, so you fall further.
Does it?
Shelby, look up.
Look, William, just stand still and look. Gary, stand still, son. He's up in the air. He's not down there. Stand still and look up. William.
Yeah, where's the other one?
There's only going to be one.
instructions about continuity challenges never thought possible to be able to accomplish outside the rigor. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mission of the United States Marine Corps Infantry is to locate, close.
Alright. Hey, hang on. Keep an eye on that, Robert. You better not drop that. That's disgusting. James, don't turn around. He's out of control. This is the rowdy section. We're lucky we got these last seats on the train because it was so loaded.
This is my window seat.
We got this one passenger, the only one that's a little bit on the negative side. Leaving the Big Apple. Had a nice day with the guys. Good times.